Hey guys, welcome back once again. In this video, I am going to show you how to implement sidebar tool panel in aggrid and how to customize that. As you can see here, I have a simple table, but on the right side, as you can see, I have couple of options. So basically, this is called sidebar tool panel. So here, as you can see, columns, filters, and quick. So here columns and filter both are provided by aggrid, but quick something I have added from my side. Okay, so here let's see on columns. So here as you can see I have flexibility here to hide any one of the row and display any one of the row. Okay, so whichever the row I want to display I can display, otherwise I can hide those rows. And here at the top as you can see we have search. So by writing the column name we can search any column. So let's say date, and I will click on this date and it will be removed. Okay, so now let's go to filter, and here as you can see in filter at the top we have this search bar where we can search any one of the column by writing their name. So here make, and as you can see I got the make. If I search here date I will get the date. So here if I select the Ford I will get all the rows which are Ford. So let's say here Ford, and as you can see there is only one record related to Ford, so that's why I am getting only one. And you might have noticed that this was already open, expanded. I didn't do anything for this. So this one also we will see how to expand any one of the filter automatically, or how to expand all the filters in aggrid. So you will get something like this as well. So let's say if you want date to be expanded only, you can do that. So that flexibility you get here. Okay, now let's come to the quick filter. So this filter I have implemented, and I was trying to demonstrate that how can we customize the sidebar tool panel. So here as you can see this is the global search. So whatever you write here it will search from throughout whole table and it will get back to you. So let's see here I type T, and as you can see I got here 2 rows. Okay, and the thing if you can match Toyota, T is matching here, and Boxster, so T is matching. Okay, now let me type here 20. So here 2022, and still as you can see the record haven't been changed because here both are matching. Okay, now let me type a other parameter. So let's say I want to get all the record whose price here. So I will type here 35,000, and I got this record. And if I type here something which doesn't match, it will automatically show me the blank. Okay, so right now as you can see this T is getting matched from here make, and this 2022 is getting matched from the date, and this search basically this is the price what is matching from here. So global filter basically it is called here quick filter in aggrid. So this is something which give you flexibility to match with any value throughout the table. So now let's jump to VS Code and implement this sidebar tool panel, and let's customize this and add a global search. As you can see here, I got a simple React project. So React aggrid app. Here already I have created a sample table. So this is what we have already. So in render, as you can see, I am rendering a heading, a text, and here I am rendering finally our grid. To this aggrid, I am passing 3 different parameters: row data, column definition, default column definition, and on grid. This raw data is something coming from here, and I have hard coded in a file that is called data. So now let's go there and have a look. So here I got 4 record. Okay, now so this column definition is coming from here, and this is the default column definition which is coming from here. So here I am providing 2 property. First is the flex one, which will take care of the width of the column to occupy 100%, and this is the filter. So I would like to have a filter. Okay, so here I am defining these two. In on grid, as you can see, this is a function, and basically it will get a params and it will set to this state. So here on grid is something which will get triggered automatically whenever this grid renders successfully on UI. It is a function, so it will get a parameter of the API of this grid and it will get me here, and I am updating the state of grid API and storing that as grid API. So now let me get back here to UI. So this is how our table is looking right now. Now the first thing is we need a sidebar tool panel. So for that here, let's come back and make sure you have imported this aggrid enterprise, then only you will be able to get this functionality. So here you have to type sidebar and pass this value boolean as a true. And now let's come back, and here as you can see we got these two things automatically on the right side. The first is the column and second is the filter, and column is by default open. And here as you can see there are many information. So first is the pivot mode, and this is the filtering of the columns. Here if you want to group, and here this value aggregation. Okay, let's go to filter, and here as you can see we have this search and all columns filters are collapsed here. Okay, so now whenever you pass this sidebar as a true, so you will get both sidebar panel, so columns and filter, and by default columns will be visible. If you are dealing with the simple table, you don't need this pivot, you don't need this row group, and you don't need this value too. And if you want user to not allow to this select all at a time or hide all at a time, you can do this too. So now what if just you want only one sidebar tool panel? So let's say as of now you want column or you want filters. So for that here I have to just write your pass. So I have to pass your string and I can call it as a filters here. Okay, and as you can see I got only filters. Now if you want column to be there as a sidebar, so you have to pass your columns and by default it will be opened. Now we want both of them, but we would like to customize this pivot mode. We would like to customize this row group and this values, because in the simple table you don't need all this functionality. So for that let's come back here. So now here we will pass an object. Okay, and right now this object will have a property called tool panels, which will be a array of tool panel. So here tool panels, now here it's array and here object, and this object will represent a one tool panel. So something like column, filter, or if you want to implement your own, you can add those two. Okay, so now let's see what one tool panel will have. So here id, and id I will pass as a columns. Now we have to pass a label, what the label should render there. So here label default, and I will pass this as a column only, columns. Okay, now I need to pass the label key, so it will be columns. Okay, and now I need to pass another one icon, which icon should be rendered there. So this one also will be columns. If you want to render your own icon, just you need to import your icon and you can pass it here, so it will render along with the column. Okay, now we need to pass this tool panel. So here tool panel, in our case the tool panel is ag column tool panel. So here ag tool panel. Okay, now as you can see we got here this icon and we got these columns. So if you want to modify that text, so here this text you have to modify and it will get modified automatically. So let me show you. So here I will say column hide or show. Okay, and now as you can see I got this hide and show as well here. Okay, so column make more sense, so I would like to let it be here. Okay, and now I want this column to be visible automatically whenever I reload this page. So whenever I am landing on this table, this column have to be expanded one. So what I can do is I can pass another one property that is the default. Okay, so here I will come out of it, this grid, and I will pass here default tool panel. Okay, and here I have two value. So first is the column and second is the filter. So here I will pass these columns. And now if I come and refresh, as you can see, I am getting the open column tool panel here. Okay. Okay. So now we have to see how to customize this column tool panel. So first of all, as you can see, I don't want, let's say, this pivot. So for that here, I need to pass another one parameter here, and that is called tool panel params. So here tool panel params, and this is an object which will take you couple of property and it will enable and disable. So here I will pass subfresh pivot mode. Okay, and this value as a true. So now as you can see at the top, the pivot mode is not anymore there, it has been removed. Okay, now the second property here I can pass it to suppress the row groups. So for that here I need to write suppress row groups, and I will pass this value as a true because initially this value as a false there. So suppress, and here as you can see it's not there anymore. Okay, now let's do with the value. So suppress values, and I will pass this value as a true, and now as you can see we don't have these things anymore. Got it? So now you will say that I want to customize this one as well. You want to remove search from here. So for that as well you can do this. Okay, and for that here let's pass column filter and pass here value as a true. So I need to add here suppress, and C should be capital here. And now as you can see we have this select all, but we don't have this search bar. Okay, so here I will make this value as a false because I would like to have that. And here the next one, modify select all. For that here you have to apply a property suppress, okay, column filter. So column, not filter, so column select all, and pass this value as a true here. And here as you can see we don't have this select all anymore. So now you can select one by one or you can deselect one by one, but I would like to let it be there, so I will pass this property as a false here. So right now as you can see I got this. So now we have seen how to customize that column sidebar tool panel, and now let's move to the filter. Okay, so for that here I will come out of it, and I need to create a same kind of, so I will copy this thing, okay, and I will paste it here. I will remove this property because it's not required in case of filter. Okay, so here I will pass this as a filters. Here let it be filters, again here filters, and here filters. Okay, now let's come back. So here as we can see there is a filters. Okay, now ag filters tool panel, and now let's come back. So here as you can see we got this filters. Okay, and we will change the default tool panel. So here let's apply filter. So now as you can see the filters is the by default, and here as you can see we are not getting icon, so might be I am writing the wrong name of the icon. So let's pass filter only, and here we got this. Again, if you want to customize this icon, you can pass your own icon here. Okay, so now here as you can see we have this search, and in order to suppress this one we have to apply another one property that is called suppress filter search. So here let's come back and apply suppress filter search and pass this value as a true. Now save it, and here as you can see we don't have that filter anymore. But the thing is, here still I can get this one, and from here I can do the filtering. So I will make this one as a false, the default value, so I can get the filter. And here as you can see I wrote make, I got this, and model, so it will work accordingly. So it's a handy one, so that's why I am leaving this one. Okay, now what if I want any one of them to be expanded one? So here as you can see I want this filter to be expanded something like this. All filter have to be expanded, so I can come and search here and select this one. So suppose for, so I can select this one. Okay, so in that case what we have to do is, whenever our table got rendered successfully, we will write a logic to do this. Okay, so basically if you do remember, as I mentioned before, that whenever this grid rendered successfully, one method will get trigger, and that method is onGrid ready. Okay, so we will write a logic here to expand sidebar filters. So for that here, first of all, as you can see I have this grid API. So here grid API, and it will have two property. First is the API, second is the column API. So here API dot, and I will get tool panel instance. So for that get tool panel instance. Okay, and here I need to pass which tool panel I am referring to. So here in my case I am referring to filters, so I will pass your filters. Okay, and I can call a function that is called expand filters. So here expand filters. So now let's come back here, and here as you can see it's not working. Okay, so let's come back and have a look. So now as you can see here, whenever this onGrid ready will get called, and before setting this value the grid API value was null, as you can see at the top, and here it will take some time because of the async call. So in meanwhile this will get trigger. Okay, and that time the grid API value was null. It means the API and this function doesn't exist there. Okay, so in that case I will refer to this params only. So here params, now save it and refresh this. So here as you can see still it's not working. So I hope I did mistake somewhere in the function name. So expand filters. Okay, now let's come back and let's refresh. So here as you can see it's got loaded. So now let me try with this grid API, and most probably it should not work. Yeah, so here as you can see it's not working, and I hope you got an idea that why that is not working. So here right now all the filters are expanded, and whichever I want to get it, I can get it from here and filter it. So now the thing is, I don't want all the filters to be expanded. I want a specific filter to be expanded only. So in that case here, what we have to do is, we have to modify this code, because as of now we are calling all the filters, and in that case here I have to pass a array of filters name. So let's say I want to pass here make. Okay, and if you do remember, make is the column. So here make I pass, and now let me refresh here. So here as you can see I got make only expanded and others are collapsed. Okay, so let's say I want model also to be expanded, so I have to separate this by comma and model. Okay, now let me refresh, and here as you can see make and this model are expanded and others are collapsed. Okay, So now what we will do is we will write a different function and we will do this. So here const expand filters, okay, and basically it will take a, let's say, params only, let's not confuse much, okay, and I will move this code here, okay. So I will call this here with this params, okay, and now it will do the same. So now let's come back and here it's doing the same thing. So now what else we can do here is, let's say that here I am passing the params. The second parameter I can pass as a filters. So let's say filters, okay, and by default value is null. So here I will apply this filters and I am not passing anything at the top. So I hope all the filters should be enabled. So here basically I am not passing anything, that's why all filters are enabled there. Now I want there to be some filter. So let's say I want this make to be there, okay, but here I got this make, okay. Now let's say I want other to be there, so I can write here model and I need to pass in a array, okay. Now let's come back and here as you can see I am getting both of them. But what if I would like to pass n number of here something like this and I want filter to be applied on them? Means here I want my filter to be applied on make, I want my filter to be applied on model. If I passing another one separated by comma, the filter should be applied there as well. So in that case what I can do is I can expand here. So instead of this I can use here rest, okay, and I can write here rest or let it be filters only, okay. Now let's come back and here as you can see I am getting both of them, okay. Now if I want another one, so let's say I want price to be there, so I will write price and let me refresh and here as you can see price is also there. So this is the price basically. So make price and model, okay. Now if you don't want anyone, don't pass anything here and hope everything will be collapsed, okay. So this is not something from the aggrid. Basically we wrote this function and what we are doing is we are spreading the whatever the other parameter we will get. So we will get rest of it in an array and again we are passing the array. So if you are not getting here anything, the default value is empty array, so filter will be not applied anywhere, okay. So now the problem is here, if you are not passing anything, as you can see everything has been collapsed. So this should not be the case, right? So now here I can write a condition to this filter, okay. If the filter length is greater than 0, then only apply this, otherwise go with the null. So here something like that, filters dot length is greater than 0, then only go with the filters, otherwise return nulls, okay. So now if I refresh, I should get all the filters because I am not passing anything. If I am not passing anything, that will be considered as a all. So here I am passing null to get all, okay. So now let me write here, so custom filters and I will move this logic there, make this as a apply filters, okay, and it will consider and it will pass here. So now if you can see here we are getting by default everything because we are not passing anything here to this method, and right now I will pass this make and here I will get only in make, okay. And if you don't want to pass the filter at all, you have to comment this, okay. And if you want to customize, you can customize here as well. Still you have lot of range to do that, but this is a very good practice, I would say, to write logic like this. Things. So first we have seen the customization of columns, and after that we have seen the customization of filters. Now I am moving to write our own sidebar tool panel. Okay, so for that here, let's get back. I will copy everything from here again. So here, let's copy and paste it here. Okay, so now as you can see, I will get to. Okay, so here let's call it as a quick search, and icon I would like to have a menu because I have no idea on most of the icon. So quick search, and here I will render my own component. So instead of passing the name which already existing, I will return here JSX. Okay, so I will call it as hello, and I don't need this extra param. So now let's come back, refresh, and here as you can see I am getting this hello. Okay, so now let's say before moving and jumping to the quick search, here what if you want to render this complete sidebar on the left side? So for that as well you have a flexibility and you can do that. So here you have to write position. Okay, and this position by default is right. If you want it to be in left, you have to select left from here, and now as you can see your sidebar tool panel is on left side. Okay, again, so now we are working on this our own filter. So I will pass this id as a tool panel here, default tool panel, and I will get my own component there. So now here what we have to do is we have to take care of design. So design I will copy and I will paste it here. So already I have designed these things, so I will copy this whole design. Okay, and I will paste it here. Okay, now let's forget about this and save it. So here as you can see global search, and here I have search box and nothing is happening as of now. Okay, so basically what are the things I have done is this is the div I am rendering. Here is for tag, so global search the text, and this is the input type, and here placeholder as a search, and type I am passing as a search. So whenever I pass this type as a search, here if I type something I will get this icon to cancel it. So now as you can see on the type nothing is happening on change event. So basically we have to apply the filter on change event. So here what I will do is I will write on change here. So on change, and here I will call a method called apply quick filter. Okay, now this function doesn't exist, so let's create this function quick filter, and I will get a parameter here event because this is a input box. Okay, so here event, and now let me write here console.log a.target.value. So now let me do right click here and go to console, and let's type here something. So here as you can see I am getting all of them. So now here I am getting the value, so my task is to apply that filter here. Okay, so for that here what I will do, I will assign this to a value, okay, or search text. So search text. Okay, and now here I need to apply the quick filter. So in order to apply quick filter I have to use again this grid API because already we are setting the value here. So I will write grid API dot API and set quick filter. Okay, and I need to pass my search text value. Okay, now let's get back, and here I wrote C, and as you can see I got here 2 rows. Okay, because C exists here and C also exists here. Now let me type here ch. So here as you can see ch is existing here, that's why I got 1. Now let me type o x t e r, so it's matching here. Okay, that's why it's still there 10. And if I type something else, it's got. So here basically everything will be considered as a string and everything will be matched. Okay, so now if I type here 3, I got these two record because 3 exists here and 3 exists here. So by now we have seen how to implement a custom sidebar tool panel as well. I will move it to right. So here I will leave this default. Okay, and right now let's say if don't want anything to be enabled by default, so for that here in that case you don't have to pass default tool panel. So right now as you can see everything is collapsed here. Okay guys, so let's summarize. So in this video we have seen how to enable sidebar tool panel in aggrid, how to customize column tool panel, how to customize filter tool panel, and how to implement our custom tool panel as a sidebar in aggrid. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me in comment section, or if you have any suggestion, that will be appreciated. You can get download link of this code in description of this video. If you find this video was useful, please do like, share and subscribe. See you in next video. Thanks for watching.